Drugs are the new emerging trends in the world. Drug addiction has become a worldwide problem. Drug addiction is a disease of the body and brain. It changes the functioning of the brain. The consumption of drugs often is observed when an individual, especially youngsters, fail to cope up with personal problems. They become dependent on different types of substances and stimulating medicines that comes hand in hand with narcotic effect. There are several reasons why a person could want to take drugs. One of the frequent reasons is the curiosity to see what happens. Sometimes family issues are given birth to addiction of drugs. The youth throughout the world is vulnerable to drugs. Lack of self-confidence is the root cause of addiction to drugs. They spend a lot of money on drugs. When an individual feels isolated or ignored in society, they develop the habit of using drugs. The lack of parental involvement in child's activities is also a cause of drug addiction in youngsters. Once you are addicted to a substance, you will feel compelled to use it regardless the damage that use does to your body, your brain and your life. Environmental factors such as your access to healthcare, exposure to a peer group that encourages drug abuse, your beliefs and attitudes are factors in the first use of drugs for more people. A lot of young people accept to experience the pressure to use drugs, smoke and drink alcohol. Another primary reason for trying drugs is mental health condition. Not everyone who experiments with drugs becomes an addict. Drugs completely change the way they think and behave. This in turn affects whatever relationship they have in their life, and the impact is mostly always negative.
Solutions to drug abuse. While it's practically impossible to prevent anyone and everyone from using drugs, there are things we can all do to avoid drug and or alcohol abuse. By sharing this knowledge with those closest to you, you yourself may be able to prevent them from doing drugs. First one, effectively deal with the peer pressure. The biggest reason teens start using drugs is because their friends utilize peer pressure. No one likes to be left out, and teens find themselves doing things they normally won't do, just to fit in. In these cases, you need to either find a better group of friends that won't pressure you into doing harmful things, or you need to find a good way to say no. Teens should prepare a good excuse or plans ahead of time to keep from giving into tempting situations. Second one, deal with life pressure. People today are overworked and overwhelmed and often feel like a good break or a reward is deserved. But in the end, drugs only make life more stressful, and many of us all too often fail to recognize this in the moment. To prevent using drugs as a reward, find another way to handle stress and unwind. Take up exercising, read a good book, volunteer with needy, create something. Anything positive and relaxing helps take the mind off using drugs to relieve stress. Third one is seek help from mental illness. Mental illness and substance abuse often go hand in hand. Those with a mental health illness may turn to drugs as a way to ease the pain. Those suffering from some form of mental health illness such as anxiety, depression, or post-traumatic stress disorder should seek the help of a trained professional for treatment before it leads to substance use. The fourth point is examine every risk factor. If you are aware of the biological, environmental, and physical risk factors you possess, you are more likely to overcome them. A history of substance abuse in the family, living in a social setting that glorifies drug abuse, and family life that models drug abuse can be risk factors. The fifth point is that keep a well-balanced life. People take up drugs when something in their life is not working, or when they are unhappy about their lives or where their lives are going. Look at life's big pictures and have priorities in order. If you know someone that is suffering from substance abuse and addiction, treatment is an option.